Welcome back everyone. For today's video, we're going to do a game review of the chess match Gotham Chess, the famous YouTuber, and I don't know why he's showing that he's from Spain, versus the world against 200,000 people, 2,000 participants. Everybody gets a vote, a say, and then the majority is the move to be played. Okay, so we're gonna get e4. It's a terrible idea from the start. Why? Because Gotham Chess is going to play c6. He has played his whole life this opening, so we don't want him to allow the theory that he knows. But okay, it's good for content. Now, we're going to take over the center with the other pawn, d4, and he's going to do the same thing, d5, something kind of symmetrical in this position. Then we get the knight out, knight c3. This is theory, this has been played before. Now he can take the pawn, we can take here, and if he develops the knight, for example, that will lead into one of my favorite variations, the Caro-Kann Tartakower, where we can take this knight, and this is very solid for black. So there is no problems actually for black. But no, instead of this, Gotham Chess goes and attacks the knight. Okay, here we can just retreat the knight. Now the bishop is attacked, we have to move. Perfect, the game continues. The other knight gets out, knight f3, knight d7, bishop d3, contesting this bishop right away and developing the piece. Now e6, with the plan of developing this bishop later. We have different options, different squares. Okay, castle, we get the king to safety, knight g2, knight, we develop the other knight, bishop to g5, bishop to d6, and everything is good for both sides. Rook e1, we're putting the rook on the semi-open file, castles, and bishop to g6. So I wouldn't really trade pieces at this point, because you want to keep the game as alive for as long as you can, and you don't want to trade bishops. But okay, here we trade bishops, g takes on g6, and then knight to e4, trying to go for some kind of attack here, right? So if Gotham Chess happens to, I don't know, forget about this knight. Oh, I'm gonna take the knight. Yeah, the queen is hanging. Obviously, he's not going to do that. He's an international master. He's a very strong player. So bishop goes to e7. Very solid, defending the knight. And now, yeah, the world takes this knight. Okay, bishop takes on f6. And here, usually the advice is to trade a piece is a mistake. Here the temptation is to take, but actually a better move, a better option would have been h4, protecting. If they take here, we can take back. We can even take back with the knight, and the game continues. But that didn't. Oh, another alternative to this move, instead of h4. We can just keep an eye on the bishop with the queen. Everything is fine as well. But no, here everybody was like, okay, we're gonna get rid of the bishop. And once black takes back with the pawn, here the computer is saying you don't want to take back with the knight. This would be an inaccuracy. And I think the reason is once black takes back with the pawn, where do you put this knight? Where is this knight going? There is no good squares for the knight, that's the problem. And as there is no bishops now on the board, how do you target this pawn? That's difficult, right? How do you target also this diagonal? So very quickly we enter an endgame. It's almost like a middle game, very close to an endgame, with only four major pieces on the board, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. c4. Perfectly good move. Knight to b6. Okay, hitting the pawn, and we protect. Everything is fine here. King to g7. c5. c5 is the positional mistake. It's like the blunder of this game. And it's a positional mistake because, very important, every time you make a move, you are leaving unprotected one square. So the job of this pawn is just keeping an eye on this square, d5, right? And now, once we move, we're leaving a space for the knight, We're also giving a space for the queen, and we have lost control of this square. It's terrible. Also, the geometry of chess, right? We always want to control these 4 squares if we can. So we're completely giving up this square and saying to black, okay, there you go. This is the d5 square. You have it. You have it. Okay, and now just to show you, for example, instead of c5, queen d2, developing the queen, would have been better. So after a few moves, for example, rook a to d1, this is an equal game. There is no advantages for anyone. The game goes on after knight d5, so we continue with our game. h4, rook to h8, and this is getting scary for why? Because they're going to attack this open file. And g3, okay, keeping an eye on the pawn in case this knight also has to move. Queen to d7, queen to d2, getting the queen out finally. Rook to h1, and this is also the biggest blunder of the game. So when we don't know exactly what we're doing, we just say, okay, I'm going to attack the rook, right? And probably Gotham was thinking about that. Levy Rozman was thinking, they're gonna play g4, kicking out the knight, and they're gonna think, oh, okay, this rook has to move. No, they don't have to move that. So, for example, this is the brilliancy of the game. e5, where is, okay, the rook is hanging. Yeah, but we cannot take. But that's what happened in the game, right? They take, and this comes with tempo. This comes with check. And see how they're coordinating the pieces. The knight is coming in, the queen is coming in, and this pawn is also advancing. So with only 3 pieces, Gotham Chess is doing a lot of damage. Just because we completely disregarded the safety of the king. Okay, so yeah, this is hanging the rook. We take the rook, the queen gives a check, and now we have to give back pieces. Usually that's what happens when you have such disbalances or imbalances, not disbalances, such imbalances in the position. Here they're going to take this knight. Eventually, sooner or later we have to give up this knight, and they don't even have to do that because Levy is going to threaten to checkmate. This is coming. Let's say we take this pawn, for example. This is checkmate. Yeah, the game is over already. So we have to give back material. We're also getting into a mating net, right? Just combination of knight and queen is a mate. So after knight to f4, we have to take the knight. Have to get rid of it. Okay, now the pawn comes in. This knight is still hanging. So okay, we move it. But guess what? This pawn is going to advance. And again, it threatens to checkmate. So queen to h3. Black gives a check. King to g1. f3. This is checkmate again, right? So we have to give back material, more material. Knight takes on f3. Queen takes back. And now rook e3. And as you know, this is completely lost, right? If we count material, 5 versus 15, only counting pieces, not pawns. Yeah, we're completely lost. So queen to g4 check. Rook to g3. Queen takes on d4. Rook to e1. And the game is over. I mean, here we can have some kind of check, some kind of attack, hoping for something. But obviously this is game over, right? So just to show you the continuation of the game, this is, by the way, this is threatening to checkmate again. So yeah, this is terrible. Now g takes on f7, check, king takes on f7, and we're gonna try to run away from this attack, right? From this potential checkmate. Rook to g1, but yeah, it's hard. It's just super hard. Now the king is under attack. There is no way we can defend this position. Even try to create some fortress is impossible. If we had a bishop, I think if we had a bishop, probably there will be some kind of way to defend it. So rook to e8 check, king to d2, and at this point everything is winning for black. They can trade rooks, but Gotham Chess is going to go for the fastest way possible to checkmate. Another check with the rook, forcing the king to the corner and to this side of the board. unprotecting or away from the protection of the rooks. Queen to f5 check, king b2, rook to d2 check, king a3, queen takes on c5. And as you can see, this is violating the policy because I cannot analyze the game. But the next move is going to be king a4 and rook to a2 checkmate. So this is about to happen in the next few hours. By the time this video has been released, this is going to happen inevitably unless Gotham Chess forgets to make the move and offers the draw. But that's obviously not gonna happen. So okay, there you go. This is the game review. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you will like this video. Take care.